There it goes. Okay.
Thank goodness.
We have it together. All right.
Sort of.
Hello and welcome to our channel Unity for Gaia with your host, Melissa.
Oh, I thought you were going to be Unity and Gaia. Or Unity and Gaia. I don't know. Ivan over here. Hi. What are we doing?
Oh my gosh. So we haven't posted anything on our channel here for a few weeks. We've been busy and going through it, like I'm sure most of you have, with the energy, the shifting, the healing, the holidays, and all kinds of stuff that's going on this time of year. So we thought we would get on and just kind of talk about what we've been going through personally and together in our experience, and see if there's anything that may help you, or where you're like, oh, okay, so it's not just me that, I feel that way, and maybe some tools and techniques to help you out. Lots of times, most of the time, we do these videos together and we have, we've really sorted out what we're going to talk about beforehand, and we have it all formatted, and we try to stay on point. So this is us freestyle today. And we're just going to go. So, my love, hit it.
Listen, that would be spousal abuse on camera. That's not good for me. Just saying. I don't know what we're hitting, but one thing that's been hitting us, I guess, is just a lot of the healing, really, because we've both been going through our fair share of healing. She's done certain, what's it called, workshops with that?
Ceremonies and workshops.
Yeah. And I've been continuously doing breathwork healing that has brought up a lot of stuff that's not necessarily the most what's the word? A lot of people are always typically focused on the happier stuff, not necessarily the no too happy stuff. And there's a lot of waterworks. My face was leaking a lot. Just healing a lot of things, whether it's something that we were talking about this morning, sexual trauma or distorted sexuality and things like that. That's been one of the topics that's been part of my healing, actually. And certain traumas that I have gone through, and bringing up those to be cleared, addressed. It has been an interesting experience, to say the least. Not only healing myself, healing those moments in time where I chose to participate in certain forms, victim or not victim. There's no victims. They are experiences, but we make certain choices that happen to put us in certain experiences. So that was part of my healing process, and also making peace with my inner child and whatever other things that would come up via a lot of the breathing techniques, which has been my choice as far as healing myself. So there's a lot of people that do breath work, and it's a phenomenal tool. My beloved has done a certain workshop that she felt guided to do with a beautiful healer. I'm gonna say her name right now.
Z Earthstar? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And just her work, the work that this beautiful human being, Starseed, Oracle, badass, just saying, that has done a lot of her own internal work and has come to her stage in awareness and in teachinghood. Is that a word? I don't know. It now
Maybe. It is now.
just people that have actually invested time in themselves, and now because you've gone through those healings, you've gone through those experiences, now you're better able to not only communicate with yourself, your true source essence, guides, higher selves, etc., or whoever that pertinent guide, higher self, whatever version of yourself is assisting yourself in whatever you're going through. And now, like, this beautiful person has created such a template, a school, if you will, on how to assist women in healing certain aspects of womanhood in that sense. So I've gone through my fair share of healing. She has gone through her fair share of healing, and it kind of puts you into a little bit of.
That's why you haven't seen us for a few weeks.
Yeah, we've been a little bit of wonky donkeys, if I'm honest. I'm here. I'm not. I'm here. Oh, I feel funny. Ooh. You know, sometimes, and that's part of healing. I mean,
Purging.
It's
called purging a lot. Yeah. So, like Ivan said, he was using breath work, and I've gone through some of my, a ceremony that I was guided to do, which was November 18th, 19th, and 20th through that Pleiadian alignment. It was called the Transharmonic Gateway. So just a lot of alignments for specific energies to come in and to do a lot of healing and clearing work. And Ivan's been doing the breath work. So on top of that, just everything centered around that, we're meditating, we're listening to frequencies and sound healing and taking sound baths to clear and using a lot of these tools. Because, if you find somebody out there who is a teacher, guide, whatever they are, and they tell you that they are done with their healing and they've arrived, you should run, not walk, because we're always all going through that. Some of the highest vibrational, well integrated teachers, and there aren't very many that I participate with, they will tell you after 20 years, they're still having this stuff come up. They're still going through it.
Right.
They're still doing the work, which makes them in turn be able to turn around and help you. But they're not in denial of the fact that it's an ongoing journey and an ongoing process, and that is what we are here to do. So I was just thinking, maybe we could just kind of ask some questions and interview each other about our healing experiences.
Okay, all right, impromptu. Like we always do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you.
Yes, ma'am.
Speak into the microphone, Ivan. Get our sound bowl one. Speak into the microphone.
Round one.
Round one. This is what our marriage is like, by the way. Okay, so I understand that you've been doing breath work to work on healing, and you've gone through several sessions on a weekly basis. When you started your breathwork journey and were not sure how it would go, what did you expect versus what did you find?
What did I expect? Well, first off, I was expecting to see a lot of energies, a lot of colors, a lot of the way she sees sometimes, all the time. I don't know, she's magical. Nope, not a unicorn, but still magical. No, I was literally expecting to see more energies and so on and so forth. And my perception of sight has changed. But what I've gone through as far as breathwork has been just the fact that you make me unfocus the focus. Focus. Okay, the camera's over there. No. My God, we're such a mess. What I did not expect was the fact that after doing breath work, it seemed like 2 days afterwards, I was in a rut. I was in a funk. I was not pissed, not depressed, but more somber, very serious, just processing everything that has come up. Whether it's something from this lifetime that I'm healing, which a lot of it not a lot of it, it's pretty much what every human being has gone through in one way, shape, or form, some more than others. The manipulation, whether there's sexual distortions, because there's a lot of sexual distortion, and we as men, guys, own the F up to that, because there is a lot. Things that have to deal with our parents, siblings, relationships, period, and things that have come up that have been rooted in other lives, parallel lives, past lives, so on and so forth, whether here on this planet or off planet, if you guys know what I mean, and you guys know what I mean, that have come to the surface to heal here now. And then going through a couple of days of just feeling disconnected from my body, feeling emotionless. That's how it felt for me. I know it's very different for everyone, but the feelings that I have for this beautiful woman next to me were absent. And it's not because I don't love her, it's because I was very muted, very, very muted. And as my body purged those energies out of my cellular structure, out of my DNA, if you will, it takes time. Yes, the breath work, you do the healing. Yes, you do address it within that 1 hour period, but the physical body is still releasing that energy, releasing it through every molecule, every cell of the body, every hair follicle, every freaking aspect of this physical body. It was releasing that energy, and that in linear time takes time for it to process and fully release. And that's just been my experience. And even in meditation, whenever I would focus on going back to God, back to source, I would literally see this physical body being nothing but bright white light, and the silhouette of this body literally looked as if black smoke was emanating and being drawn out and being pulled out and dissipating back to the light. And that's been my experience. The 2 days after breath work was something that I was seeing a pattern after the first couple of times, where I'm like, okay, so I need to be mindful, not to be mean or not to act nasty, mean, one and the same, to anyone. It's just the fact that this is where I'm at, and this is part of the process of letting things go, and this is how it's manifested for me, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as how breathwork has gone forward and what have you, and in the process of I would get memories back from a certain situation, episodes from Atlantis, episodes from another lifetime, episodes from Italy. That was fun. Tour d'Italia for a week. Anyways, but it better assisted me in understanding me more as a guy here, as a human being here in this lifetime. And it really has helped me get a better perspective of we are not just this body, not just this incarnation, and we're so multidimensional, and we are existing in so many different realities and dimensions. It gave me a better perception of what that looks like based on that experience, and the healing that comes with it, I mean, goes without saying, is phenomenal.
So being here with you and seeing just your process each week for several weeks as you went through breath work, what I noticed with you, and maybe you want to address this a little bit more,
Sure.
is that the first week it was actually like your root chakra. It was the foundational issues in your root, and then as you did each session, it traveled upward into the different chakras.
Right.
And it was in order. It started in your root and then went up to your sacral, your soul or your heart, into your throat,
speaking your truth,
up into your third eye and crown. And so I found that very interesting. Is that something you and the breathwork coach planned on when you started, or is that just the way it transpired?
No, that's actually the way it's transpired. What's funny about this is I am supposed to, love you guys, do 10 sessions, but I've only done 7. and it coincides with what she said. This was not pre-planned. This was not something that I said, "Oh, going in, I'm gonna focus on my root, my sacral, my this, my that." It literally, that's how it manifested. And I find it interesting. Miss Pilates over here, Miss Yoga instructor, was actually the one that was like, "Wow." First, it was your root, things that correlate to that chakra and what it relates to, and then your sacral with distorted sexuality, sexual trauma, etc., etc. Your solar plexus, which we carry a lot of our family in our solar plexus. A lot of those relationships, if there's any distortion or what have you, traumas, disempowerment, that coming up to here. Is that Italy?
Your heart?
Italy.
No.
I can't remember what it was, but anyways, it was something to do with my heart space, or opening up more my heart, or whatever blockage, residue. I don't even want to say blockage, because a lot of times we feel that there's no more blockages, but there seems to be an ongoing pattern. The more you expand, the more you grow, the more your field holds more energy, the more you start to realize, oh wait, there's this little corner that needs to come out. So throat, speaking my truth. I think it was something you said, and it triggered something within me, and it was me literally speaking how I felt about something that she had said that triggered something within me that was tied into my childhood. And then I recall that night I felt a lump in my throat, and then by the following day it had literally dissipated. And as I'm speaking about my throat, I've noticed my voice tone changed.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yes.
And then so on and so forth, third eye and crown, what have you. So that's been an example of what I've gone through. I hope this helps someone, somewheres. And it's like I said, it wasn't planned. Your soul, your essence, your oversoul, whatever you want to call it, other aspects of yourselves know what's appropriate and what needs to happen in those certain moments in time. What with interactions with certain people, and with some people, you may feel drawn to go there and interact with a certain healer or a certain teacher. And then once you're done, you know it. You feel it within yourself. Okay, I've learned everything I need to do. Now it's time for me to move on, or still be open to participate again, or continue coming back to that same person that brings this expansive knowledge space to one's awareness for self-education. Really, that's the most important thing about this. Just the constant self-education.
Yes, my shirt. The magic is in you. Magic is in you.
Oh.
It's in you. So, got some gardeners that help us, right? Dig around in the soil and find the richness that's still in there, but yes.
Well,
yes.
Saying that I've said before, sometimes you got to go through a garden of shit to get to the garden of roses. And what do plants require to flower even more, or more beautimous?
Some fertilizer.
Some manure. Some poopy. So, go ahead. It's your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm doing the da-da-da-da-da.
Yes, you are now the interviewer.
Okay, that sounded a little bit, I don't know what the heck.
In English, so everybody else can understand you.
Okay, back to Earth. I went up in the stars for a moment. So, what did you expect going into this Pleiadian gateway and this interaction with Z and all that plethora of information? What were you expecting, and what did you see happen to you throughout the whole process, madam?
Well, let me start by saying thank you to all those who've supported me in this journey.
It's been me the whole time.
Okay, so, well, first of all, a week before, it was a 3-day medicine container ceremony and workshops, and it was all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the week before, when I enrolled, there was some preparatory sound healing and things like that were sent out from Z. And so I started doing those right away. And the one was a aura healing chamber. And if you're familiar with Z's work, you know that she's a sound oracle, and she is powerful. And so these are healing chambers, tracks that she's created. So she sent 3 of them out. And the first one, the aura healing chamber, she even says, like, it's powerful. You might want to do these, 10 minutes at a time, right, when you start it out. And so I did my yoga practice, and he was gone at the gym. And I do my yoga practice, and I'm here alone. And I'm like, well, when I lay down in Shavasana, I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to, listen to it and take this sound bath, right? So the whole thing's like 45 minutes. So I listened to it, and I lay down, and it was really nice because, I lay down and I close my eyes in Shavasana, and I'm hearing it. And then, I'm seeing all the light geometries and everything that, is associated, that's tied into this, it's coded with, right, in the sound frequencies. But what happened was, it was like a plant medicine journey, because I got so, high, and just from the frequencies, I remember trying to sit up off the floor, and I was like, oh. I look like the girl you found in a corner of a rave, back in the late 90s, early 1000s. Yes, I partied it up. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Literally got high off the frequencies, but that's part of it's supposed to have that plant medicine, ayahuasca, one of these journeys type of experiences. And he wasn't here. By the time he came back, I was somewhat coming out of it, but even my body, I was just woo, because I'm an overdoer. So I'm 10 minutes the first time, I'm gonna listen to the whole thing, right? Well, hello. So that kind of kicked it off, and that was a week before. But then every day there was 3 tracks, and listening to them and preparing my field to take in this ceremony, this information, to be in this space with her for the 3 days. And so my whole weekend really was that energy and being in that energy. And when it was over, there was a lot of purging that weekend, but I was weird for a few days, wasn't I? Kind of zoned out, and just I had a lot to integrate, because there was so much that was cleared out.
That was both of us, yeah.
Him being with me in the house, even though I'm listening to this stuff in earbuds, he's picking it up from me, right? So he's picking up my energy from all these things, and, it still ends up affecting us both. And really just going through that process, that was in, that week before Thanksgiving. And then the energies kind of settled down a little bit. What? You remembering something?
Yeah, because that week, that was the week that my higher self said, this week you're not doing breath work. Period. Okay. You were very out of it. I was very out of it. We both were synchronized in purging and releasing a lot of stuff that, to my wake awareness, I had no idea, but we were both out of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yes. I recall that, because it literally took us to midweek to finally start coming out of it and start feeling like we're our normal selves, in our own way.
Yeah.
So Z is her name's XI. Earth Star, check her out. She is phenomenal. I've listened to her tracks as well, and it has helped me too.
Because a lot of it's on YouTube.
Right.
You get it for free.
Yeah. A lot of her stuff, when I felt very, very out of it, and some people are like, "Oh man, I don't feel like myself today." That's because you're processing some stuff or purging, depending. And when you start talking to your higher essence, your higher self, or whatever you want to call it, then you can always ask, what's this? Oh, I'm integrating. Okay. I'm purging. Oh, is this what purging is? Okay. Oh, I'm processing. I'm in mid transition. All right. Meditate with that track. Perfect. Right. And then listen to Z's stuff that my wife has shared, or even whenever she does stuff, because we are so weird thing. So when she goes through stuff and it's affecting her, I can actually feel it affecting me in a positive way. And also when I'm going through stuff, she can feel me, so it's affecting her in a positive way. So that's kind of interesting now that I think about it.
Yeah, we kind of line up in that way a lot. So yeah, and then after that week, then it was very much just maintaining that energy to carry that, your field forward in that way with everything you've cleared out, right?
Yes.
That you're, maintaining that and leveling up, if you want to call it that, right? Leveling up.
Defragging is what you said.
Yeah, defragging your hard drive.
Yeah.
So, we've been working on that, but, we're like, today is 12/12. So everyone, is like, oh my gosh, the 12/12, it was back in 2012. It was it's her ascension birthday. So there's definitely a big shift in energy. We went to bed at 8 o'clock last night. Now, Ivan tends to go to bed earlier than me anyways. If you knew me and you know me, you know that I'm like a 1 a.m.er. Like that's, even if I'm getting up at 7:30, 8 o'clock the next day, I'm not a big sleeper. I don't sleep a lot. I have a lot of energy, I just don't sleep a lot. So, Ivan sleeps probably an hour or two earlier than me most nights. Gets up a little earlier than me, but he goes to bed, right? I was nodding off reading a book at 7:30 last night. I was so laid out yesterday. I'm like, what is going on? We were ungrounded. We took a walk out in nature in the trees in the park for a couple hours. It was nice and warm and sunny where we live. It was 81 degrees. So very nice day to be out in the sun, get those nice light codes coming in. And we were just like, ooh. I mean, it was crazy.
What's funny
the energy,
is
the way it affected us. And we've been going through, though, a lot of shifting and continuously like, what's next? Okay, we integrated that. What's next? Working on this healing journey so that we can put our best selves forward,
right?
So that we can do the work that we came here to do. We've said it in other videos. We stress it continuously that, if you want to see New Earth, it comes through us. Through getting our creative energy back, through restoring our original templates. The work starts on the inside. It has to, how are you going to... Okay, here's a perfect example. I am going into a 9-week healing course that starts in January. And the teacher for the course, it's Z, and the course, it's not $5, but it's not several $1,000s either, but it's,
reasonable.
It's reasonable for what you're getting out of the course. It's focused towards women. It's a woman healing, clearing sisterhood, medicine container, as she calls it. And so one of the things, is your root chakra. If you haven't manifested the means to be able to afford something like that, you're probably not ready for that level of work and deep healing work that it contains.
Right.
And that's a big one, that the being rooted, right, to be able to create here, and then coming up into your sexual energy is actually your creation energy. It's been totally exploited and misused here. So that creation energy, putting the power behind it, right, bringing it into creation, bringing it up through your heart and out into the world, being able to speak and bring the proper, clear resonance in to your creation, that your second and your fifth chakra are totally intertwined and created in that way. So just working on all of that and bringing all of that up and bringing that forward. I signed up for the class, and it's such a potent class. I signed up for it a few days ago, and like literally within a couple hours of signing up for it, the energy of everything aligning in my field to get me ready for a month from now when that class started. That's why I was laid out yesterday. I mean, he felt it too, but I was like a hot mess. It was like, where's my feet? I feel like disconnected. The day before, I started getting all kinds of physical symptoms. At first, I wasn't realizing what it was, but it was the energy moving through me, like up, up, up. Like first it started, like down in my lower back and in my legs, and my knee hurt, and everything that's connected physically to my root chakra. There was like energy moving through and clearing stuff. But then after a couple hours, it went up to my sacral chakra. And then for a couple hours, I was nauseous. It went to my belly. And then it came up here into my chest. And it felt really weird, like through my upper back, I had pain, almost like wings that were trying to break out that couldn't. And it was really weird. And then my throat started to get kind of achy and scratchy. And then by yesterday, it had come up into my head, and then my head was pounding, and then my crown actually started to like ache and tingle at the same time. And it was that energy like moving through, like moving stuff out, moving stuff out, moving stuff out, moving stuff out.
You know what I just heard?
What's that?
Clear the way!
Clear the way, exactly. And it was as soon as I made the commitment to participate in that class, and I realized what was going on. So, just that next like deep level layer of healing and clearing and doing the work, right? So it's been probably since the beginning of November when I came back from Detroit.
Yeah.
That we've been on this journey, that he was already doing breath work when I went. I went up there to move my mom and start working on clearing out the home that she lived in most of my life. That was my childhood home, my parents' house, just where I grew up and lived until this year. So there was a lot of stuff there that like clicked back into my field and came up for me to process and purge when I got home. So it started with that. He was doing breath work. It has just literally been all of November and so far into December, it has been a constant like healing, integrating journey.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to come on today to maybe share with you guys, say, hey, if you're going through it right now,
You're
like,
not the only
and
one.
it's been like shoved in your face on some level, that's definitely what the energies are supporting right now.
Yeah. Just a lot of clearing the airways. Anyways, just a lot of clearing your body, really. Clearing your body to be able to, we're going to say it that way? Okay. Clearing your body and clearing all the gunk, defragging, decluttering, releasing, transmuting, whatever, to emanate that brighter light, emanate those higher frequencies within the body. And
there's a lot.
Look at what's going on around the world. Around the world, it's the same thing. I go out in town, and just by people, a lot of people may not be aware of what's happening with them physically, and it's a lot of that. It's a lot of on a subconscious, on a higher dimensional frequency level. Their higher selves are assisting and purging all of that from their bodies. And some of them, because some people tend to be workaholics and overdo it, their body says, hey, slow down. And therefore, if you don't listen to your body, slow down and stop and take a day for yourself, your body will make sure you take a day for yourself by making you sick. That's how your body heart shuts you down and slows you down, to allow your body to just chill out and allow your body to go through those changes. And it's happened to me many times before, which I was not aware that that's what that was all about. My body letting me know, you need to rest, you need time. And now that I've gone through breath work and she's gone through what she's gone through, we've had literally days that we were like, she may have on mind, I have a lot of things that I'm going to do today, or I may have in mind, I'm going to knock this out and do this, that, and the other. Then half an hour into my day, all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, I don't feel so good. Where's the pillow? Oh geez, I just woke up. Why do I feel like I need to sleep again? What the heck is going on? But again, that's your body letting you know you need to rest. If you have not learned how to communicate with your guides, your higher self, source, etc., and you're feeling like you're really drained and tired, take the day off. You deserve it. You're more than well worth time to yourself, and allowing yourself to just enjoy. Let's eliminate the whole lazy bum concept and toss that out the window. That does not exist. This is your body telling you you are worth time to take to yourself, and allowing yourself to relax, heal, and reset.
Sit with your body. Your body is actually smart. It has its own consciousness.
Right.
Like, they have made everyone believe that the body is just this like dumb pile of tissue floating around, has no idea what it's doing. But I mean, think about how smart your body is. Your cells actually know like the difference between a cell that grows in the stomach, a cell in the eye, like just how smart your body is and knows what to do if you really, really, really think about that.
Right. All the functions they perform.
You know, like the body is super intelligent, and the body is trying to communicate with you and align with, you know, all the energy, the emotions, everything you carry. They get expressed through your body.
Yeah.
There's so much there to really learn and to listen to. So, you know, and so something for me that I've exercised all my life. I grew up dancing from the age I was 4 until I hit college age, and then I became a personal trainer. I went to business school, but ended up as a Pilates instructor in my 20s. And so I've just always exercised and had that going on where it's been consistent. And so with the move and everything that's happened this year, I sold my house in Detroit and, you know, moved down here to where we are in Georgia. And it's just been like, I mean, it was like nonstop, so much going on. And I didn't have any type of structure as far as like exercise and what I was doing. And then when I got down here, a couple months back, like everything kind of, you know, it was like finding a new routine, settling in. And once we came together to where we were living together every day, like everything's been aligning our energies to be like cohesive together. So it's just been like one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. But we give into it and we find that we have a beautiful flow going, like our ability to like have abundance just come to us, like financial support, everything just boom, boom, boom flows. So we know we're doing the right thing. So we just keep like following it and listening, even though sometimes you're like, this is what I'm doing. This is what we're doing. Really? This is what we're doing. So we had let it guide us, right? The flow. But I had gotten away from a regular, consistent exercise program. And you're laughing at me. So what I realized was that I was starting to get very achy and stiff and just felt like sluggish, like the energy was stuck. Do you remember me telling you that a few weeks ago? And so I was like, okay, I'm making a commitment that I'm going to get up every day, and we have a beautiful gym here where in the community we live in. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to get up every day. I'm going to go do cardio in the gym, and then I'm going to do, yoga, whatever else, and move my body every day. So the first day I did that, I was like, I got on the elliptical and my thighs were burning the first 10 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? I used to ride this thing for 30, 40 minutes without like batting an eye, I'm like, okay, this is crazy. But I went every day, and then, by the third day it was like, okay, I've found my, I started to find my stride, my groove again. But what I was finding was that the energy is the more you heal and clear, the more you want to purge things and clear out and make space for that other energy to come in. Those energies want to come in. They want to move. They are higher frequency. They want to move through your body. They want to vibrate your cellular structure. There's this flow, and you need to integrate the physical body with that energy that's in your field. And I needed to get moving. And so we both started going to the gym together like every day and made that commitment. Now, yesterday, the way I was feeling, I will say that did not happen. I probably would have fallen off the elliptical and you would have to call EMS.
A little disclaimer about a lot of times people say, go out in nature, get grounded. If you're feeling all loopy or a little airheaded and you're like, oh, my head feels like a fishbowl, go outside, walk in nature. It does you good, and it does. And it grounds you and it helps you feel more like your normal self, in the body. Well, yesterday, this is just a quick disclaimer, it did the opposite for us. We went in there feeling, okay, this isn't
It's
bad.
true.
She stands on the ground barefooted. I'm there being supportive, doing whatever. And she's like, okay, I needed that. I feel like I'm much more in my body, much more myself. We come back, eat dinner, and all of a sudden it's like, okay. I know I haven't been drinking because I don't drink. I know I haven't been smoking because I don't smoke. It's okay. Hold on to me. I felt like I was drunk on a boat or something. And her, I mean, she was already freaking loop-de-loo to begin with, and then she went loop-de-loop-de-loo after that.
I'm surprised I was able to make food and it turned out okay.
I'm surprised we were able to have a conversation with each other. Derp? Brr, yeah, derp.
Yeah, we were a little woo. So
it happens.
But we slept like all night and got up this morning. You got up before me. You got up at like 6:30 and I didn't get up till like 8:30. I mean, it was like we got hit
with a what do you call it? Sleep stick?
Yeah.
Both of us hard. So
and all kinds of crazy dreams all night long.
I know it's not just us. I know it's everyone. So this is just a reminder. If you're going through some, I don't even know what to call it at this point. Circus, crazy rides. I don't know. Even the whole apartment complex was very, very quiet for a Friday night. That typically is much more
Saturday,
lively. What?
It was Saturday yesterday.
I am on point. I am A-okay. I swear the young lad doesn't do drugs. He just... Wow, really?
Yeah, it was Saturday. Oh my gosh. Okay.
We lose days sometimes too, by the way.
It was Saturday.
Where's my phone? Where's the calendar? You sure this way is north and that way is south? I'm pretty sure that way is north and this is south. Yeah. So. Welcome to living.
And we're moving through this 1212 gateway into Solstice, right? The solstice is coming up. And just the year 2022, just the alignment of those numbers alone, but just 2022 has been talked about for several years as being a year where, like, in many ways, the crap's gonna hit the fan. So whether, my personal advice to anybody who's on this awakened path right now would be start doing your work, go in and heal and get ready, because if you want to be able to bring something into creation, some teaching, some healing, whatever it is forward, and you haven't been able to manifest that yet, there's some stuff down in the root chakra, the sacral, the solar plexus, some stuff down in there in the physical body. And in your field, there's some issues there that need to be healed and cleared around abundance, what you're attracting to you, and how that is working and manifesting for you or not, because it is going to be time. The collective that is still running around, doing this, wearing one of these over their ears and, participating in that silliness, their world is getting blown apart. You can see it we're not like news watchers and all that stuff, but we look at it to see, what's going on? This is what they're doing now, right? This is what they're playing with. And so when we see that and you see what's going on there, you really, 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 it's very obvious that it's imploding on itself. Those energies that have created that, because they're not supported with the higher energies that are coming in. And so the more we do our work and we can create from here and bring that energy out and forward, that is how we create this new earth. If you think that sitting at home and being like, well, I'm a divine being and it's just like gonna happen and it's just gonna fall on my face, it's not.
You gotta put in the work. You gotta
put the work in yourself, and for me, I have like 3 projects on my desk. I have a book I'm finishing, and I have...
Sorry, continue.
I have, is something funny?
No, because you're saying, oh, for me, I got 3 projects on my desk, and my higher self is like, and Ivan is the project.
So there's there's a book I'm finishing. There's a whole series that I've written out, but I need to make the videos for. I've started writing them on just at a cellular level, what the body does, our DNA, our connective tissue, our bone structure, how it's actually a crystalline formation, the frequencies, the energy that runs through it, how all this process is really tied into this physical body. So I have all that on the desk in these last few weeks. It has all just come to a complete screeching halt because I needed to do this work on self and get realigned. So when I sit down and I meditate on it, and I go within, I get told it's like, well, you need to be at this frequency to bring forward what you want to bring forward. You know what you're bringing forward, but here's what you need to hold to put this energy behind it. This is what needs to even resonate out of your throat in the sound vibration and what you carry in the frequency as you're teaching and speaking through, these videos, right? So even finishing the book, same thing. So it's just been that where everything kind of froze for a few weeks, and I've had to go through this process, and now I'm like, oh, okay. Today I actually feel like myself again, a different version, but myself, which might not make sense, but makes sense to me.
You know what I find interesting of what you're saying? So she's saying all her stuff just froze, and she wasn't doing that work. The way she says it and the way I'm seeing over here as a spectator with my popcorn, and I don't eat popcorn. Just how all that you went through all that healing and all that integrating and all that purging and all the water works, and you doing your stuff and me doing my stuff, and us having our own moments of I love you, man. Well, I was drunk, but you get my gist. All of that need to be healed in order for it to clear the airways, clear your body from all that gunk and junk and debris, and defrag, right? So that more of this higher frequency energy not only can move through your body, but can be contained within your body. And as a container, you're emanating the higher frequency, and as you contain that higher frequency information in the form of lightning, hello, you're containing and you're holding those higher templates anchoring within the body, manifesting through your heart space when you get excited and you get inspired and so on and so forth. So what you're saying about that, having the energies to move forward with those projects that you felt that you put screeching, that you had to park it for a bit, was literally in order for that storyline to continue to manifest and bring these volumes as in turning the volume up on the volume knob, or volumes as in one book after another, bringing that energy and that sequence of the storyline that requires more of that richness to give it more depth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is what I'm seeing from here, from what you just went through, now being like, okay, now I'm ready. Now you're able to hold that information as light within your body. Therefore, you're able to see the storyline that you were unable to see, to continue this storyline and manifest it and create it into this story that you will eventually put out.
Yes.
So I just think that's interesting. Just as a dude over here being like, ooh, that's so cool. That's so awesome.
So this book that we're talking about, it came in about a year ago. It started to come in this time last year, and it came as a download, and there was so much there to unpack, and it was like, sit down and start typing. And the introduction and the first chapter, maybe 2 chapters, came in just boom, and I was like, okay, here I am, like automatic ready, here we go. And then I would step away from it for a week or two. At the time, I was still working with clients back up in Detroit, and I had my regular daytime gig going on and a life and whatever. So I was doing other things, but then suddenly I'd be hit with the next download of this is the next chapter, right? And so I'd have to sit down and do it. And then through the process, I've been going back and editing it. And sometimes, you read back and you're like, oh, that's the worst grammatically correct sentence ever. Like, I need to correct that. So just doing self-editing, going back over it. And then, this year with Ivan and I coming together in the spring and me selling my house and totally like uprooting and restructuring my life, some of that got put to the side. And I was like, well, when am I going to get back to finishing this book? And I was told, when you're moved and settled and the energy's right, it's going to come in and you're going to finish it. So I worked on the next section of it a little while ago after, I was down here. And then I came to a stop point right before this last month of healing. And so now it's like, okay, now you can go in and you can finish it. And part of it is like, it comes like, I call them shower thoughts when you're in the shower because the water's running and you're healing and clearing. It's like, oh, your true soul self is talking to you. You're all connected. You're like, this is like a party in the shower. What's up? And it's all good times in there. And so, I'll be standing there and the whole thing comes in. It's like, okay, so this is what we're doing. Like, how do I unpack this? And it takes me a few days, but getting shown what is going to come next. And so some of it was things that I didn't even have a way to structure verbally these concepts. Like, I've had to have the clearing, the healing, right? The room come into my field to actually hold this, to put it out there. And so this book is going to be published as fiction, and it's truth wrapped in a tale, as I like to call it, So sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and it's very galactic. It has a lot of elemental, fairy, other earth realms tied into it. It's a very multi-dimensional book, and there's a lot of codes and things in there for people. I mean, he's read the first probably third of the book. I don't know. What do you...
I don't know, because I haven't seen the whole book, but
He read what I've edited so far, for final copy, which is the first third of the book.
And it is actually, for a guy that doesn't read as much as my beloved, it's actually very captivating, because I'm very particular of what I choose to read, if I choose to read. So for the fact that I was engaged in the storyline, engaged in what was being presented, engaged from my current awareness of what I know myself to be as a multidimensional being, as a human here, as a galactic being, as an angelic being, as a whatever dimension you choose, what flavor, it doesn't matter. I thought it was very befitting for a lot of people that it's a good door opener into rediscovering and re-remembering what you are and what you truly are as an energetic being, as a spiritual being, as a fractal of our creators, God, source. And I really kind of like a gateway drug to remembering who the heck you are again. That's the word that they were advising me to use. So it's a gateway door. Oh, really? Gateway door.
Yeah. When I was downloading the book, when it started, I'm like, what is the point of me writing this? Because while I love reading, my dream career, even as a kid, was to be a novelist. I always was and English lit and those type of classes were right up my alley in school, math and all that stuff. I was like, just, boring, totally boring. But good structure and writing and the creativity behind it always fascinated me, But I was told that this book is going to be, for people like us and you guys watching, something that is that you can be connected with, because there's not enough things out there that we like to read. And, you know, whether it's, you know, you're looking on Gaia TV and looking places for something that you vibe with, where you're like, oh, I'd actually like to connect with something or read a book or do something like that, but I want to put my mind on something that has good, pure energy, right? I want to put my energy and into that, not, you know, some crappy, weird, distorted show on, you know, Netflix or Hulu or whatever. And so stuff like that, just for that alone, there really isn't anything out there. But there's also a lot of good coding and teaching tied in, the DNA, there's all kinds of levels of stuff in there.
Right.
And for people who, you know, somebody who's not awake and aware, but maybe likes a little science fiction, urban fantasy type of reading, they could pick it up and read it, and they're going to get blasted with concepts and stuff that, whether they know it or not, is going to start integrating into their field. So across the board, it's literally a book for everyone, like no matter what your level's at. And really, there's no like swearing in the book. There's no distortion. Right.
There's no age restriction.
There's no age restriction. As long as you can read the words at, you know, 10, 12, 13 years old, it's perfectly fine. So it's really, it's made for everyone. It's made for everyone. I'm like, we're doing this. They're like, you're doing this. I'm like, okay, here we go. So part of just being able to bring that in, and the book is written with, I've already got like an offshoot book, like it's going to be expansive, like a whole series. And I've already started typing some of the other, and the way the characters are woven in, the storylines.
Right.
And so this is part of just my creative, like what I love to do and what flows through me. But just to bring these books in at this, you know, a vibration that's up here, like new earth vibration versus
the same repetitive baloney that hasn't been.
Just to do that, I've had to really do a lot of deep work on self to make room for that.
Right.
They're saying right now, it's like, remember when we were in school and you read Edgar Allan Poe? This is the kind of thing that kids in like new levels of like what a new earth school would be, this is what they'd be reading for fictional literature. This is like where they are, where they're going to be, versus, you know, the Edgar Allan Poe and the weird, you know, I think we've all read Edgar Allan Poe. If you haven't, more power to you. You're very lucky that you weren't forced to read that garbage. But you know, just that low frequency, distorted, you know,
just sad
literary
sadness.
Works and things that were, you know, put out there for us to read when we were in school. So yeah, so even for that creative process, I've had to go through so much healing and transition this last year just to bring that forth at the right frequency. And so again, it is do your work. Do your work, do your work. If you're wondering why what you want isn't manifesting, do your work, do your work. Heal. That's what I got. I love you.
No, it's
which I brought into his world, I think, too. Like,
okay.
Heal and do your
really?
work.
Okay, we're gonna go there. Fine. This you're talking about a year ago. Fine, we'll go there. So.
Oh, he thought he had arrived, darling.
No, I love her. She's awesome. For the craziness. Está un poquito loca, pero la amo. Aún así. She's a little bit crazy, but I still love her.
I know enough Spanish to know what you said, you know. Right.
Anyways. No. Well, it kind of brings me back to what you were saying about doing the work, clearing, and all this. You've been working on yourself for quite some time, and this has been one of your creations. How you've manifested as you cleared your root chakra, your sacral, your solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown, your highness.
No, but I gotta keep going back in. Like you said, stuff stuck in the corner. I'm like, oh, look at that over in the corner of the root chakra, a little snarfer. How did that get in there? I'm still running. Gotta get that out.
Exactly. Just when you think, oh, I've already let go of this, let go of that, but you think at times, and I know this is true for everyone. At times you think, oh, yeah, you already let go of that. Oh, yeah. Well, how come you're still behaving the same way that other concept influenced you to behave in a not so productive way. So I'm being told to say it. Yeah. Anyways, same with me. I was told, and I'm sure I've said this in another video, buy a suit. Don't be cheap about it. You're gonna be interviewed for the most high frequency job, and what have you. And I did. I'm like, all right. My higher self, my guides, are saying, buy the suit because you know you got to dress the part to be interviewed for that higher paying job, and this with the intention of a high frequency job, and so on and so forth. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, so here in the near future, I'm going to get a job that pays phenomenally well, and I'm really going to enjoy the environment I'm in and what have you, not knowing that the reason that I bought that suit was to marry my lovely blonde counterpart over here. So there you go. But with that being said, I had to do plenty of internal healing that pertains to everything within here, everything that we have associated chakras to represent certain aspects of certain energies. And in order for me to anchor in that reality of now being married to a beautiful person like Mel Bell over here, I had to do my own work and manifest through my heart explosion, hello, a beautiful partner. And now we are very fortunate to do videos like this, and hopefully in sharing a lot of our personal experiences. It's not all about us, it's about sharing our experiences, and hopefully in one way, shape, or form, us sharing what we have gone through and what have you will help all of you guys navigate your own personal experience. Or if you go through an experience of, man, I've really gone through some shit as of lately, well, congratulations, you're not the only one. We're right here with you guys. We're all on this beautiful blue planet called Gaia or Terra or Sophia. We're all in this together. We're part of this beautiful sphere of life. And yeah.
I think that's it.
I think that's
That's
it.
a wrap.
Are rapping? Really? Are you going old school like 80s rap, or are we talking about 90s rap? I think 80s rap, when it was more lyricist, and when breakdancing and dancing was actually cool, who had the best moves and all that. Not a lot of this morphed into just some wacky ass shiza that's been out there. It's like, yo, I know how to speak hood. My girl comes from the hood. She knows how to speak the lingo and all that, but some of the stuff that's out there is just not the best. I'm gonna be nice about it. I will be nice.
Well, there's like a wanting to dumb down humanity.
Yeah.
It's a program run in the false matrix, so whatever.
Yeah. There's no dumbing down considering the type of human beings that are here now, and we're all in our own way assisting each other. Oh, that's the other thing that I actually want to say, which you've heard in other channels, talking about the solar flash or solar flare, solar flash, right?
That it comes through us instead of sitting around waiting for some big event to rescue you. Another false savior program.
Yeah. We are the rescuers. That solar flash is when we all start lighting the F up. We are the solar flash.
Yeah, so guess what? It won't happen till you do your healing work and you come into that heart and clear out the crap and you learn how to manifest powerfully and put that energy forth and start restoring your original divine template. And that starts at a cellular level, DNA work, cleansing the body, scrubbing the cells, consciously getting connected with your body. I could go on, but I'm making videos on it, so you'll see those soon enough.
that was a preview. She could have gone on, and then I'll be the dude like in the old rap videos. There's your main rapper, and then I'm in the background. Yeah, that's right, girl. Tell him. Going with your bad self.
He wants to go crazy sometimes because I'm just like, oh my gosh, did you know in the DNA and blah 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 blah, and I'm going on and on about the body, and he's just like, yeah, very nice. That's nice.
No, she knows a lot the body very well. It's not coincidental that she's been a professional trainer and knows motor functions, just everything that entails with the body. and I can understand and I can relate to everything that she's saying, but she nerds out on that, which I'm just like, oh wow, this is interesting. This is cool.
You'll find out why in one of my upcoming videos. So I go into why that is on a more multidimensional level.
Right. Well, it's been fun. Should we wrap? We are wrapping.
We should wrap.
Okay.
Yo, 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 here we go.
Just because you grew up in the hood doesn't mean that you know how to rap.
I make no claims, man. No. Whatever you have going on out there with these energies, if you would like to hit us up with a comment and tell us what's been going on with you.
Even our dog agrees.
We do quantum healing hypnosis. That's a mouthful. Sessions together. So if you would like a session, you can email us at unity4gaia, just like our channel, at gmail.com to get more information about that. And
if you guys have any topics that you guys have come up with, obviously, and questions
we would love to do, everyone's questions. So if you want to email us a question, if you don't want to put it in the chat, that's cool. We're not afraid to talk about anything. I don't know, I'm not afraid to talk about it. You can ask about whatever,
whether you hoo-has and your hoot-nannies and your whatchamacallits, yeah. No, we're not. We're just here to try to do our best to assist in whatever mode possible in communication with our teams, our guides, whatever is appropriate for everyone, and what have you. So, yeah, it's been fun, but we actually got to go do stuff.
So happy 12/12, moving into Solstice, and we will see you again soon. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.